This is my favorite crochet bandana, and every time I wear it, my friends ask me, how do you make it? In this video tutorial, I am going to show you how I make crochet bandana. I am going to divide making of this bandana in few parts. First part is this starting portion. Second one is this lacy portion. Third one is the first portion repeat, and then the backside portion. Of course, making the ends properly and creating the thread for tying. Let's get started. For making this crochet bandana, what I am going to take is 4-ply cotton thread and 3 mm crochet hook. Let me show you the closer look of this strip. So we are focusing only on this portion. Part 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. As you know, I always pull the thread from center so that the ball doesn't roll around the house when I'm working. And I am using 3 mm crochet hook for this project. Make a moving knot and chain 82. Chain 82 because I will need the stitches in multiplication of 3, and I will add 1 for turning my work. After chain 82, turn your work, and in the second chain from the hook, first SC we will make in the back bump. Now chain 1, skip 1 and SC. This is going to be my first line. Chain 1, skip 1 and SC. Chain 1, skip 1 and SC. After line 1 is done, what we get is 41 SC and 40 spaces of chain 1. Line number 2 is chain 1 and turn your work, and SC on SC and SC in the chain 1 space. So total I will have 81 SCs. SC on SC, SC in chain 1 space, SC on SC, SC in the chain 1 space. This is how our work will look after line number 2 is done. Total we will have 81 single crochet. Now chain 2, turn your work and DC on the first space. This looks as if we have 2 DCs on the first SC. Chain 1, skip 1, DC in the next space. Now yarn over 5 times on this DC. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and close this block stitch with chain 1. Now skip one, DC in the next. After DC, yarn over 5 times on this DC. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Pull up a loop, pull through all loops on the hook, chain 1, skip 1 and DC in the next. This is how our work will start progressing. I call this as a block stitch. So DC, yarn over 5 times on it and close it by chain 1. This is how it's going to be line number 3. This is how our work will look after third line, and in total we will have 39 block stitches. Chain 1 and turn your work. Single crochet on the very first DC and 2 single crochets on each block stitch. After this line, we will have 81 single crochets. After this line, we will have total 81 single crochets. Chain 1, turn your work. Single crochet on the very first single crochet, and like the first line, we will have chain 1, skip 1, single crochet. Chain 1, skip 1, single crochet, chain 1, skip 1, single crochet. In the end, we will have 41 single crochets and 40 chain 1 spaces. This is how our work will look after line number 5. Trust me, even this itself is enough as a headband. It looks good. Now we are starting with part 2, which is a lacy part. Chain 1 and turn your work. SC on the very first SC. Chain 2 and skip 2. So chain 2 and skip 2. The space is 1 and this is 2. So first SC will go in the second chain 1 space. Chain 2, skip 2. It will go on the SC. So one time it will be between the space and one time it will be on the SC. This line does not add anything in the height, but it creates spaces for next line. In the next part, we will do this particular portion. Now if you see, first one is just plain or blank space. I will say blank window, then window with block stitch, then 3 windows plain, block window, 3 windows plain, block window. This is going to be first line. Second line is block line, plain, block, plain, block, plain. It's going to be like that. So third line is repeat of line number 1, which will give the same block stitches and complete the design. Chain 1, and turn your work. We are going to DC in the first SC. When we do chain 1 and DC, it gives kind of a feeling of 2 DCs in the first space. Chain 2, DC on the next SC. This I will say the window is formed. Now in the next space we need to have 5 loops. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. We will close this block stitch with single chain 1, and DC on the next SC. Chain 2, DC on the next SC. Chain 2, DC on the next SC. Chain 2, DC on the next SC. Now again we are going to do a block stitch. So yarn over, pull 5 loops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Close the loop with chain 1 and DC in the next SC. We are going to repeat block stitch, 3 window stitches, again block stitch kind of a thing. This is how portion 2, line 2 looks. So first is a blank window, block stitch, 3 windows, block stitch, 3 windows, block stitch, 3 windows, block stitch, 3 windows, block stitch. Likewise, in the end we have a block stitch and a window. When I say window, it is DC, chain 2, DC on next SC, and when I say block stitch, it is after DC you yarn over 5 times in the chain 2 space, close the loop with 1 chain and then DC on the next SC. Now we want to do chain 3. Now as a part of design, I have to make block stitch in this space and this space. So after chain 3, I am directly going to yarn over 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pull up a loop. Chain 1 and DC on DC. Chain 2, DC on DC. This line is block stitch, plain window, block stitch till the end. So next is a block stitch, yarn over, pull through 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Yarn over and chain 1, DC in the next space. Chain 2, DC on next DC, again block stitch. This is how our work will look after line number 3 in the part 2. So we will end this line with block stitch. Now chain 3 of this design is going to be repeat of line 1. Chain 3, turn your work, Now this being DC, again what we need is chain 2 and DC. So this will give a first window. Now we need a block stitch to complete design. So yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull up a loop 5 times. 2, 3, 4 and 5. Pull up a loop and close with chain 1, DC on DC. Now again we will have 3 window stitches and next block stitch will be on this. So repeat of line 1. This is how the design will look complete. This is how my work will look after I complete this stripe of block stitches. Now line number 5 is a repeat of line number 1, which is chain 1 and turn your work. SC on the first SC, chain 2, SC on the next DC, chain 2, SC on the next DC. The way we had spaces here, we will have spaces in the end. Part 3 is going to be the repeat of part 1. Chain 1, turn your work, SC in the first space or SC on the first SC, chain 1, skip 1 and SC. 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 And the next line is going to be SC on SC, so total 81 SC. Just repeat the part 1 and I will see you after I finish part 3. We are done with the band portion of the bandana. Now we will start with our lacy pattern, which we will use to cover our head. After we are done with the picot portion or the main head portion, then we will make the side endings for the headband, and then we'll create these threads or ties where we can knot and hold the bandana on our head. So after finishing the headband portion, I am going to pull up a loop and cut the yarn. After I am done with the headband, what I have done is pull up a loop and cut the yarn. Now to start further, what I am going to do is take a gap of 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 block stitches. It means in the 8th SC from the top, I am going to attach the yarn. If we have left 8 single crochets from right side, we are going to leave 8 single crochets from left side also. I have left 8 single crochets from my right side. Single crochet, chain 4, skip 3, single crochet, chain 4, skip 3, single crochet. Likewise, I have continued the full line, and in the end also I have left 8 single crochets. This portion is very easy. Now chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, turn your work, make a single crochet in the first chain space, again chain 4, picot, it means join it in the same place, again chain 4, SC in the next space, again a picot, 1, 2, 3, 4, chain 4, join it in the same space, that is this bubble kind of a structure formed is called as a picot. So again chain 4, single crochet in the next space, chain 4, make it a picot, chain 4, single crochet in the next space. This is how our line will look. This is how my first line will look. We started with chain 4, did single crochet in the very first chain 4 space, again chain 4 and created a picot, chain 4, single crochet in the next space, chain 4, picot, chain 4 into next chain space, chain 4 for picot. Likewise we have moved up to end. Now here we are going to do chain 2 and a DC in the last space or DC on the last SC. Now chain 1, turn your work, single crochet in the same space, chain 4, directly jump into the next chain space and create a picot again, chain 4 and a picot, chain 4, picot, few people call it picot, few people call it picot, whatever suits you, whatever is your way of saying. So one time we are going to have chain 2 and DC in the end, and one time we are going to have a single crochet in the end. And see, this is how our work will progress. And repeating this line, we will create the length of this side of the bandana as long as you want. Create as many lines as you want for this particular portion of bandana. This will cover your head, neck, and if you have long hair, you can keep this portion little longer. You can say till shoulder or maybe even little longer. This will help you to save your head from heat, and of course will save your hair from getting tangled with heavy winds. So it's just one line repeat, chain 4 and picot. So one time you are going to have in the end chain 2 and a DC, and one time you are going to have a single crochet in the end. Do as many lines as you want. There are two ways of ending the garment. Either you can have it in the straight line or you can taper it. So this one I have done with straight line. This one I will show you with the tapering. While I am continuing to do the flare, let me also show you how to create the sides. Make a moving knot. Attach the thread in the corner. Chain 1, single crochet in the same space, and single crochet along the side. I generally pick up one single crochet on single crochet and two single crochets in the DC space. Whatever number of single crochets you will pick on the one side, they have to be same on the other side. While doing any project, I feel having pen and paper handy is very important, because whatever adjustments you make with the stitches, it's better to write down. We don't remember it later on while doing the other side. This is my line of single crochet. Now chain 1, turn your work, convert first 3 single crochets into 1. So 1, 2 and 3 single crochets into 1. Do the rest of single crochet on single crochets, and in the other end also convert last 3 single crochets into 1. sides we are going to pull, so single crochets will help to give that strength. Only first line we are going to do on both the sides. Then onwards we will start reducing stitches in the center also. I am left with last 3 stitches. Now 3 into 1. 1, 2 and 3 into 1. Chain 1. Turn your work. Now this time 2 stitches into 1. 1 and 2. Now I have to reduce in the center also. I am not specifically giving you stitch count because you might have 1-2 stitches different and then you will get stuck in the calculation. So in the center also I am going to make 3 into 1. See, the simple trick is next to this box stitch my reduction has to come, decrease has to come. In the end 2 stitches into 1. Chain 1, turn your work. See how we are reducing. We have to come till 3 stitches. Simple trick to remember is the reduction has to be on the reduction. 1, Now this time I am going to do all 3 stitches into 1 and I have reached the end. Now I am going to do chain 60. I am going to pull this 60th loop little longer and start doing two single crochets, one half double crochet, one double crochet, one triple crochet, again one double crochet, 1 half double crochet and 2 single crochets in that space. This looks like a drop, and I'm going back to the main chain, and I'm going to continue doing line of slip stitch along our chain. This will give the strength. I am going to reach up to base, pull up a loop and cut the yarn. The side is done. Pull up a loop and cut the yarn. This end I will weave in later, but this is how the end portion looks. Every time when we try the bandana on, this portion gets stretched, and after few washes it will sit properly. But this is how the end will be converted to a point, and then we will create the thread. This will be the end of the portion, and we will repeat this on the other side. We started from here and we are here. I think this is enough of length. Now there are two different ways of concluding or finishing this. Either you can leave it in the straight line, or you can make it in a triangular shape. Now if you pull up the loop, cut the yarn and weave in the end, this will be the straight line. But I will show you how I will make it in a triangular way. If you notice, we start with chain 4 and single crochet in the first chain space and end with single crochet. Now every time we are going to reduce to start with decrease. I am not going to do chain 4 and single crochet. I am going to do chain 2 and a DC in the corner. Why I am doing this? Because then it gets my stitch in the corner. So here the first decrease is already created. After making this slight change in the pattern, we are continuing with the same, that is chain 4. Turn your work and single crochet in the first chain space. Again chain 4 and make a picot. Chain 4 and in the next chain space. So if you see this, here is already first decrease. So this is our original width. This is my first decrease. Now next time the decrease will go here, likewise. Now I will show you how I decrease at the other end. We are at the end of the row, and let me show you once again what changes I am going to make. So instead of chain 4, I am going to make chain 2 and double crochet in the space. Now this is what has created a corner and given me a decrease. Now I will again continue in the pattern, chain 4 and single crochet in the very first chain space. While I am continuing with the pattern, the change is made at the end. Now if you see, there is a reduction this side and reduction on the other side also. This is how we are going to reduce, and we will taper this end portion and eventually will come to point 1. Simple trick of reducing the sides was just to make chain 2 and a DC in the closing chain space. This is how the final look will appear, and we are done. Last line is chain 2 and the DC in the second chain from the previous loop, and the end portion or the end loop comes in the center, and we are done with the bandana. Thank you for watching this video. Kindly like, share and subscribe to my channel Hook to Knot, and keep watching my channel for more such interesting crochet related videos. Thank you. Oh my god, look at my model. Yes. This is how the bandana looks when it is finally ready. Now how to wear it. Wow, this is how beautiful it looks